नमस्कार।
नमस्ते नमस्ते अपर्णा जी। यूएसए से।
आ,
ये मैम का भी केएसएस में रीयूनियन टाइप का है।
हाँ।
स्टार्ट कर देते हैं। सर भी आ रहे हैं। Namaste to all, and I welcome Professor Singh and you all in KSAS monthly talk series. You all know that we invite some great eminent personalities of different disciplines every month for KSAS talk. Today we have our speaker, Dr. UV Kiran, Madam, the Professor and the Dean at Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow. She has a great academics with 19 years of experience. She is topper, gold medalist. She holds PhD in economics. She has over more than 100 publications, a patent and a copyright. Her expertise spans economics, occupational health, societal issues. An active member of prestigious professional bodies, she has received multiple awards and contributes significantly to the scholarly research and discourses. Today, she will talk on biomedical waste management towards environmental sustainability. Now, it's your time. Over to you, ma'am, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alok. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I can see Professor Balram Singh sir over here. Very good evening, sir. Hello to everybody.
Recording in progress.
Today I'll be speaking about biomedical waste management and how it is impacting environment. And when we are focusing towards the sustainability development goals, and also we are speaking about the environmental sustainability too. So there are many concerns towards environment wherein we say that we have to protect the environment. Rather, we can say that we are also destroying environment in many ways. So can I share the screen?
Yes, now you can.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Is the screen visible to everybody?
Yes. Kindly do it in presentation mode.
Right, doing 1 second. Is it now?
Yeah, now fine.
Okay. So today I'll be speaking about biomedical waste management and environmental sustainability. Basically, I wanted to tell the background why I have chosen the topic and why initially we have done the research on this. Actually, when we were working on I'm an occupational health expert. So we were working on rag pickers. So when we were working with the rag pickers and when we were interacting with the rag pickers, uh, rather than the occupational health in the sense of physical health, we have found that there are many other issues also which are involved with the rag pickers. So when we were discussing and interacting with some of the children who are involved in rag picking, one of the child took us to one of the houses wherein one of the children of that family is disabled. he has become disabled. He was not having one leg. So when we have inquired what happened, then he started telling ki when he went for the rag picking, he had some prick of some needle when he was collecting the waste, and after that it has become infectious, and after that it has grown so much that that leg has to be removed, he has to be amputated. So then we started inquiring deeply about it, and we found that there is much of the amongst the waste, much of the hospital waste is also combined. Both biomedical waste includes the hospital waste, rather the household biomedical waste also is combined with the normal waste, solid waste, which we found as heaps onto the roadside also. So we thought that this is a topic which needs which has to be created awareness among people, so that many of especially the academicians and the researchers should know about it, and maybe we can also make aware the other people, other scientists, and other government officials also, so that some concrete things can be done in the in disposing of the biomedical waste. And though there are many legislations, there are many laws in at country level at India as well as at international level, but still many of the things are not being followed. So I thought this is the best platform wherein some kind of awareness can be created, so that you're all eminent researchers and academicians, you can take forward this topic and can do much about this topic. So this is the reason, this is the background of selecting this topic basically. So when I'm going into presentation mode, I'm not able to change the slide. There's some problem.
Do it again, I think.
One sec.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, it's fine.
Yes. So let me start with a quote. Life on planet is very precious. It should not be wasted for waste and also by waste. So let us not just throw away the waste just like that, because many people are involved in collecting that waste and disposing of that waste. So we as a human being also should be very cautious what kind of waste we are throwing on the roads, or even we are putting in the dustbins. Should be packed properly, and then only it has to be thrown off or disposed of, because many other lives are also dependent on it, as well as we are polluting the environment also, wherein I'm not speaking about only the human race, but also I'm speaking about all kind of life on the planet. So let us see some key facts. Biomedical waste is known to be the third largest source of dioxin air emission, as given by the US Environmental Agency, and also it contributes to 10% of mercury emissions to the environment from the human activities, as given by IRIN in 2018. The other fact with regard to biomedical waste is the average quantity of hospital waste generated in India, it ranges from 1.5 to 2.2 kg per day per bed. And whereas in developed countries, if we say it is 5.24 kg per day per bed, and it is estimated that only in New Delhi, about 60 metric tons of biomedical waste is produced every day. Other fact, approximately 3 million healthcare workers receive hard exposures to bloodborne pathogens, 2 million to dose of HPV, 0.9 million to HCV, and 0.17 million to HIV, which contributes to the biomedical waste. Biomedical waste also has a serious impact on our oceans. These are consumed by the sea creatures, and of course, it is very threatening for all the marine life. And there are some biomedical waste that cannot be disposed of through even autoclaving, which is one of the method of disposing of the biomedical waste. And about 90% of that material is cleaned and then it is sent to the landfills. And if these landfills are not properly covered up, then it is also very fatal to the life on the earth. Facilities that produce less than 25 pounds of biomedical waste in each 30-day period are exempted from permitting and are inspected every 3 years. And biomedical waste legislation says that each and every unit has to be inspected. So when we see, as per the Central Pollution Control Board, which is one of the controlling agency which looks after the biomedical waste, it says that India generates almost 484 tons per day of biomedical waste from around 168,869 healthcare facilities. And this is the data of 2019, and now it will be much more. So what is biomedical waste? Biomedical waste is any waste produced during the diagnosis, treatment, or immunization of human or animal research activities, which contains infectious as well as potentially infectious materials generated during healthcare activities. These medical waste are so much hazardous, it may contain or any kind of contagious material which may infect any part of the body from external to the internal parts of the body. So we can segregate biomedical waste into non-hazardous waste and hazardous waste. Non-hazardous waste include approximately 85% of the waste generated from hospitals are usually non-hazardous, which includes waste, leftover food, fruit peels, paper-made cartons, glasses, packaging materials, wash water, etc. But of course, glasses, if all these glasses, cartons, packaging materials, if they're plastic, if they're made of plastic, again are harmful for the environment and are to be properly disposed of. Whereas, and even we can say that there should be less utilized. Whereas hazardous waste, which are produced from hospitals, healthcare centers, research laboratories, nursing homes, clinics, diagnostic centers, these include sharp objects, blood, body parts, pharmaceuticals, medical instruments, syringes which are used, soiled bandages, chemicals which are used, half-used chemical bottles, and equipment like which consist of radioactive materials, and also other related waste generated from hospital services. And some of these materials, hazardous waste, usually it so happens that if we have a patient at home, we also tend to dispose of the used bandages covered with blood, or maybe used syringes. Just like that also has to be properly disposed of. The hazardous waste is inclusive of hospitals, healthcare centers, which are actually supervised, and the other hazardous waste which comes from home and other small healthcare centers is not properly supervised. If we see to the statistics, the solid waste generation, if we can say, in terms of metric tons per day, we can see in India, basically, Maharashtra almost produces 15,364 metric to 19,204 metric tons per day. Then comes UP, there is Puducherry, Tamil Nadu, Bihar, then West Bengal, and other places like Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat are followed by this, and Jammu and Kashmir, Haryana, which are green dotted, produce less than this, around 3,841 metric tons per day. So there are states which produces almost 15,364 to 19,204 metric tons per day. Per day, which is a very huge number, like states like Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, etc. When we see the kind of all these red areas, which are marked in red, produces highest amount of biomedical waste, almost like this is the data taken during December 2020. So this is kind of waste generated during December 2020 of the various states. Like Uttarakhand has less, whereas Delhi, you can see 39% of the biomedical waste. 23% of the biomedical waste is from Uttar Pradesh. Then you have almost 9.36% of the biomedical waste is from Assam. And there are many other areas like Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and other states. When we speak about the survey conducted among the various countries, such as Japan, China, of West Pacific area, basically, Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Republic of Korea, the status was assessed basically on 5 areas: management, training, policy and regulatory framework, technologies implemented, and financial resources. And it was found that only Japan and North Korea were found to using best available technologies for biomedical waste logistics and treatment, and rest are not properly doing it or do not have proper technologies to implement the disposing of the biomedical waste. When we speak about the biomedical waste, we can speak about the components, sources, and its impact. Biomedical waste includes human anatomical waste, microbiological and biotechnological waste, which usually comes from the research labs, sharp objects, which are waste, discarded medicines and cytotoxic drugs, soil waste, solid waste. Then you have liquid waste generated from any of the infected areas, animal waste, waste which comes from incineration, and also all kinds of chemical waste. Or these are the components which comprises under the biomedical waste. And the sources include hospitals, clinics, dental offices, dialysis facilities, analytical laboratories, blood banks, all research laboratories, university laboratories, as well the healthcare waste at household level, such as disposed blood strips, needles, etc. Even we use needles to check the blood sugar level also. Those are also thrown just like that into the dustbin. So these are the, all the other kind of waste where we speak about the major health centers or supervised, whereas these kind of small health centers and household waste is not supervised. And what it will impact, the impact will be on soil and water pollution. It will be going into the landfills. It will be affecting whole of the food chain. It will be affecting the ecosystems and biodiversity. And it will be contaminating all the water sources. And of course, through contamination, contagious diseases can spread. It can endanger aquatic life. It may go into the food chain, again, the aquatic chain, and it will affect the aquatic life. The soil, it will pollute the soil, it may affect the agricultural produce, it will seep into the food chain, and it has a huge impact on total chain involved into it, and also it will pose health risks to human beings as well as the animals. So what has to be done when we speak about the management of biomedical waste, what it comprises of? Proper management of biomedical waste is required to protect the public health as well as the environment, which involves many steps like segregation, collection, transportation, treatment, and disposal through various methods, which has to comply with the local regulations and guidelines. And every country has its own standards so that this biomedical waste can be minimized at the first step, or otherwise the biomedical waste has to be properly disposed of, and at each and every step it has to follow certain rules and regulations so that it can be properly disposed of. When we see the chain of it, when we speak about the waste which is generated from hospitals or nursing homes or clinics, first of all, this has to either it will go on to directly septic tanks or open drains. These drains can be overflowed and it may create poor sanitary conditions. Otherwise, if properly done, this solid waste are to be collected through technical and non-technical methods, and they have to be sorted off, like segregated into prickling objects, infectious waste, non-infectious waste, hazardous materials. It has to be properly segregated, and they have to be recycled at source. The material which can be disposed of at the source has to be recycled there itself, and others again has to be segregated and transported through municipal bins or on-site disposal. And then if recycling of clinical waste, if it is done by rag pickers, then again it will go on to directly to the municipal dump yards, or it may go to the open burning. What happens if it goes to municipal dump yard? This may lead to unsafe disposal, anesthetic conditions, and it may cause groundwater pollution. If it is done open burning, then of course it will lead to air pollution, and toxic ash may be created, and it may be released into the air, and it again will be creating the land pollution, air pollution, water pollution. But what is the current status? At the collection status, sometimes it is collected in open bins without disinfection. Segregation stage, sometimes it is not segregated properly, then bins are not labeled, and color coding is not done on the bins. This happens in the mediocre healthcare centers, household waste, and also some healthcare centers which are in the villages, and all these wastes are disposed of like just like that. But otherwise, at the major healthcare centers, they try to follow the rules and regulations. But I can quote you an example. I've seen an hospital which has a huge biomedical waste just thrown at the side of, which is a very huge hospital, very famous hospital. A huge dump of biomedical waste is just thrown onto the road. Then recycling, when we speak, it used plastic and glass intravenous bowels, infection sets, sharp syringes, and so are sold to the third party, and they will be doing the recycling. And during this recycling, during this transportation, they are manually transported, so no safety precautions are taken over there. And when we speak about the on-site disposal is just done on the roads or open pits, and there is no proper guideline, or you cannot keep away all the rag pickers who goes over there to collect, because it is their daily source of income. So they try to go and collect each and every material whichever is available on the roads and the rag sites. So there is no fencing to keep away the rag pickers, or there are no particular restrictions over there. So automatically it will have a huge health impact. And whereas infectious liquid waste is directly sometimes thrown into the municipal dump yard, again it will be creating all kinds of pollution. So this is the general status of disposing of the biomedical waste, which is so dangerous to all kinds of life on the earth as well as the environment. So what it has to be done, and what is the impact of it if biomedical waste management is not properly done? What it will impact? Improper disposal creates pollution. It will contaminate the soil and water, and it will lead to impacting ecosystems and water sources, leading to when it seeps into the food chain, then automatic aquatic chain, it automatically disrupts whole process of the life. And then the chemical and biological contaminants of in biomedical waste leach into the soil or water. It will have an huge impact on the health of ecosystems. These contaminants will disrupt the ecological balance. So hence it will impact biodiversity, and again it will have huge impact on all kinds of organisms. The microplastics and residues, which are the important component of the biomedical waste, will create microplastic pollution crisis, And again, it will have an impact on biodiversity at various trophic levels. So any kind of waste which is inclusive of this biomedical waste will create havoc to the life of a human being when they come into its contact. So managing, disposing of, or reducing the use of biomedical waste is very important, because maybe it is not taken proper care, or proper rules and regulations are not followed, due to which we can see lots of biomedical waste in heaps in many of the places, wherein children go over there, do the rag picking, children and the adults also, who have a huge impact on their health, and of course creating lot of destroying the environment also. So when we speak about the biomedical waste management, the various stages are, as we have already discussed, it should include segregation, collection and storage has to be properly done, transportation has to be properly done, treatment and disposal. Then after which, many things also has to be, awareness has to be created among the public, among the masses, among the researchers, among the scientists at household level, to each and every person, so that used syringes or used needles or used bandages or used bottles of medicine should not be thrown just like that. This kind of awareness has to be created at each and every stage, which is very important. So training and awareness has to be created. Awareness also has to be created regarding the regulations, and taken care that all the regulations are complied by each and every healthcare facility, and proper monitoring and auditing by the requisite agencies also has to be made. And of course, public awareness has to be created at each and every stage regarding the regulations, also regarding the disposing of also. And of course, much more innovation and research is required in disposing of biomedical waste, because biomedical. Somebody saying something?
No, madam. No, please.
Okay. So biomedical waste should just not be disposed of like that. The use of biomedical waste has to be reduced. So this kind of innovation and research is required, so that less use of biomedical waste, less biomedical waste can be created. When we see what kind of authorities are dealing with the biomedical waste in India especially, there is one Central Pollution Control Board, and the other is National Green Tribunal, NGT. Central Pollution Control Board looks after effective management of biomedical waste in states and union territories, and National Green Tribunal works on application of biomedical waste bylaws made during 2016. So as per these biomedical waste management rules 2016, the biomedical waste, while segregating, has to be given certain color codes, and then it has to be segregated. Like solid biomedical waste, when it is segregated, all the non-infected waste like cytotoxic drugs and chemical waste ought to be kept in put in the black container, black coded container. All the infected waste like solid waste has to go into red container. The anatomical waste, which include placenta, pathology waste, body parts, these are to be kept into the yellow container. Infected plastic syringes, gloves, and plastic waste are to be kept into the blue color coded container. And the sharp needles and cut glasses are to be kept into the white plastic container. The waste, the non-infected waste, which includes cytotoxic drugs and chemical waste, either has to go into, have to be treated chemically, and then it has to be kept into secured landfillings. It should not be burnt. It should not be autoclaved. Okay. And then the solid waste, which includes infected dressings or pop casts, which are autoclaved, and then it will go on to deep burial. The anatomical waste is directly sent to deep burial. The infected plastics like syringes, gloves, which are kept into the blue color coded container, it has to be disinfected with 1% chlorine solution. It has to be mutilated and then recycled. And then sharp needles and cut glasses, again, it has to go into the pits which are made to bury these sharp pits. So these are the color codings given by the given in biomedical waste management rules 2016, and all the healthcare facilities has to follow these color coding and has to segregate their waste first accordingly, and then it has to be sent for the disposing of in various methods so that no harm is created to the environment at any level. So usually the treatment of biomedical waste is done through autoclaving, incineration, some kind of waste is done chemical disinfection, some kind of waste goes through microwaving, irradiation, and shredding. When we speak about autoclaving or incineration, the kind of gases which is created through these methods also are very harmful to the nature. So hence, we always say that instead of, a proper disposal, speaking about proper disposal, you can speak about reducing the use of the medical facility. Instead of creating the waste, try to use try to create less waste so that these kind of methods cannot be used or less used. But there is no other way which is standardized as of now. So we say that disposing on the biomedical waste should be the last option. Try to reduce, try to reuse, and try to recycle. So we say that reducing is maybe we cannot reduce using of many methods, but to the best possible way we can minimize unnecessary procedures. Some people have a habit of, though sick or not sick, go and get all the tests done. So this kind of things can be avoided maybe to somewhere or other, even not 1% also. If we can minimize certain minimize the contribution towards biomedical waste, it will be helpful for the environment. Then records can be digitalized so that those records only can be used till the date, like for a year, maybe for 2 years, maybe those records, health records, can be used instead of going on using the procedures. Even in the hospitals also, if I go to one hospital, they will write some tests, and same test record will not be taken by the other hospital people. So these kind of things also can be minimized, managed, so that the contribution towards biomedical waste can be reduced. Reusable items, but while reusing, proper sterilization and disinfection has to be looked into, and segregation of recyclables and sharp recycling programs also can be conducted, and awareness can be. Hello? Segregation.
Yes, please.
You can hear, Dr. Alok?
Yeah, ma'am. We can.
Okay. When we speak about the recycling, so all kinds of products which can be recycled should not be directly thrown into the environment. Rather, the things can be recycled and can be reused. So we say don't just contribute towards creating a waste. Instead of that, you try to reduce it, reuse it, and recycle it. This kind of awareness has to be created among masses so that less and less amount of biomedical waste can be created. So at international level, WHO has published guidelines on the safe management of waste from healthcare activities. So they provide best practices for handling, treatment, and disposal of biomedical waste. European Union have their own directives, and the Waste Framework Directive and the Hazardous Waste Directive, they are relevant to the management of biomedical waste. There is one convention, Basel Convention, on the control of transboundary movements of hazardous waste and their disposal. It also addresses the transboundary movement of hazardous waste, and it includes certain kinds of biomedical waste. When we speak about the International Labour Organization, it also provides guidance on occupational safety and health, and also it provides certain recommendations for the safe management of healthcare waste to protect the workers. So these are certain international organizations which are working on biomedical, disposing of biomedical waste, proper disposal of biomedical waste. And certain other regulatory frameworks, one which was given in 2016, Biomedical Waste Management and Handling Rules. These are the key regulations in India. Ministry of Environment and Forests also notified Biomedical Waste Management and Handling Rules in 1998. And also they have 4 revisions to meet the prevailing needs. And then it has, after these revisions, Biomedical Waste Management Rules 2016 has come into picture, wherein it has 4 schedules, 5 forms, and 18 rules, which all of them speaks about how. First schedule speaks about categorization and management schedule. Second schedule speaks about standards for treatment and disposal of biomedical waste. Third schedule speaks about prescribed authority and duties. And of course, fourth schedule speaks about how to label the containers, bags, and what kind of transportation has to be done of this biomedical waste. So the standards which are given by these regulatory bodies includes every healthcare facility dealing with biomedical waste. They should have required waste treatment facilities such as autoclaving or microwaving, and make sure that small facilities are to be created at the healthcare facilities only. Instead of transporting it to other places, they can create their own facilities, and so that requisite treatment of waste can be done there itself, and other waste can be transported to a common biomedical waste treatment facility or any other biomedical waste treatment facilities which are available in their own cities in the near proximity. If common biomedical waste treatment facility service is available within 75 kilometers, then there is no need of establishing an on-site treatment and disposal facility by any occupier. If it is not within the radius of 75 kilometers, then it is compulsory for a healthcare facility to create a on-site treatment and disposal facility. And of course, they have to use the chlorinated plastic bags, and the operator of the common biomedical waste treatment facility should not dispose all these plastic bags into the incineration, because again it will create the air pollution. And so these are the certain standards which are given if a common biomedical waste treatment facility is available within the radius of 75 kilometers, then it can be sent, the waste can be sent over there, transported over there. After following the rules of sorting and segregating the waste, and then only it can be, it should be transported. The biomedical waste should be transported. And there are 2 major changes which happened in the 1996 guideline, 96 schedule, and the other schedule, 2021 schedule. Untreated waste should not be stored beyond a period of 48 hours. Within 48 hours, all the waste should be treated or within the on-site treatment facility, or it has to be transported to any common biomedical waste disposal facility. Secondly, microbiological and other clinical laboratory waste is to be pre-treated through sterilization And these guidelines are given by World Health Organization and National AIDS Control Organization. Before all this clinical laboratory wasted, it has to be treated, pre-treated through sterilization on site within the healthcare facility only, then only, which are to be followed by all healthcare facilities, not keeping untreated waste beyond for a period of 48 hours. It may create heavy havoc. And the pre-treatment of all the microbiological and clinical laboratory waste is required. When we speak about the challenges in handling the biomedical waste, waste is being increased because many healthcare facilities are cropping up every second day. There are one or other disease after COVID. We have seen there are many infections going on. Even during COVID time, it was it was large heaps of waste was created. So waste is being increased. This is one of the major challenge which has to be seen to. And of course, though there are many rules, many regulatory bodies which are working in proper controlling or working in proper disposing of biomedical waste, these rules are not being complied upon, and maybe the regulatory authorities could not take control of all the healthcare facilities to make them comply these biomedical waste rules. And I think as public, so we may raise our voices so that all the healthcare facilities can comply to the biomedical waste rules, or maybe we can even report to the regulatory authorities if any of the healthcare facilities is not properly following the biomedical waste rules. This is a one of the major challenge which is being which is there in handling the biomedical waste. And of course, non-segregation. When we visit many of the hospitals may be having the color-coded bins, but many of the other small healthcare facilities do not have color-coded bins, and they just mix all kind of waste into only one bin, which is very harmful. When it is not segregated, then each kind of waste has to be treated in a different manner. When you don't segregate it, then the treatment of that particular waste is also very problematic. So segregation at the healthcare facility level is also very important. And of course, improper disposal, which I have already quoted, that even busy, very popular, also do not follow the proper disposal methods of biomedical waste. And of course, as we have already seen, that if we don't have any biomedical waste facility, common biomedical waste facility nearer to within a 75-kilometer radius, you should have on-site disposal and treatment facility with the healthcare facility only, and which is missing in many of the healthcare facility. Even transportation of biomedical waste is also very important thing which has to be followed. And this also requires proper infrastructure, which is lacking in many of the healthcare facilities. And of course, certain kinds of waste are to be incinerated only, are to be sent through incineration only. And incineration, of course, everybody knows it is very harmful. It creates harmful gases, and it creates huge air pollution. And as of now, there is no alternative to incineration. That's why we say, instead of creating huge masses of biomedical waste, you try to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Follow 3 R's, so that there is no need for you to send heaps and heaps of waste to the incineration, which may create havoc to the environment. So these are certain challenges which are being which are there in place while handling the biomedical waste. When we speak about the COVID period, there was disproportionate increase the biomedical waste increased by 234%. When we see the data of 2020 to 2021, it has increased, cases has increased by 234%. So the biomedical waste generated increased by 11% within between the peaks of only 2 months, like 2020, May 2020, and then May 2021 we see. So there is increase in cases as well. There is increase in the waste generated. And there are many, this is only a certain data, but there is so much data which is underreported, and the waste was just disposed of like that. Even we know the bodies were just disposed of like that, rather than the biomedical waste also. So though they don't have proper facilities, proper guidelines were not followed in disposing of the biomedical waste, because it was so huge and it was a sudden breakthrough, and due to which, and after that there are many bylaws has come into picture, but following them, complying to them is very important. And rather than not only the COVID-19 cases, but even the vaccination drive, it also has created the much of the biomedical waste, contributing towards biomedical waste, like 268 million syringes and needles and almost 18 million glass vials were used to inject the vaccines. The vaccination drive has used so much. It is the data of 2021 only. So when we see one vial on an average carries 15 vaccine doses. So they have used almost 18 million glass vials, and many of the, this is important as well. We can, innovation and research is required to reduce all these things. So what we have, when we reduce the biomedical waste use, or when biomedical waste is properly managed, we can of course prevent the pollution. We can protect our ecosystems. We can protect our human health. Resources can be conserved, and greenhouse gas emissions can be reduced. And for all which, regulatory bodies and as a common man, we too have to work towards complying all kinds of laws which are being in place by various regulatory bodies on biomedical waste management. So this sustainable biomedical waste management, it will align with the broader goal of environmental conservation, health equity, reduction and ecological footprint, which we speak about widely in the sustainable development goals. And it only can be achieved through collective efforts, informed decisions of waste management practices, informed decisions of each one of us, efforts of each one of us, because even a common man should know the biomedical waste which we are just throwing away, the syringes and needles, or the used bandages, or even blood-filled cotton swabs, which may be harmful to others, which may be creating pollution. So these kind of awareness has to be created in public, in masses too. And this is one of the major goal for taking up this topic. And then it will lead to a sustainable and healthier future of planet. And of course, we know healthier people, healthier environment, and healthier aquatic life too. So these were the various references used. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. And you have nicely explained the biomedical waste management system. And it is very true that if we have more awareness about it, that how can we prevent us carefully with used needles and blood, soak and bandages, expired medications, and chemical reagents, and originates from the healthcare facilities and research labs, households, as we are living here in the lab. So it's very informative, and it was very necessary to all of us to know about if we do some mismanagement and misbehavior with such biomedical waste. So what will be the problems will appear with us, because you have nicely, if we are not following the proper rules, proper safety measures, so biomedical waste management system, so it may possess global risk, contaminating soil, water, leading sufficient impact on ecological system. You have all beautifully explained, so thank you very much.
Thank you
And
so much.
we have some knowledge about it because our biosafety officer is Dr. Abhinandan
Yes.
Tripathi is also here,
Yes,
and
yes,
he has
yes.
learned us some safety measures. But you taught us the biomedical waste management system, which is also important to know about it. For the initial comment, I would like to invite Professor Balram Singh sir, who is the president of Institute of Advanced Sciences and the director here in Purvomi School of Advanced Sciences. We welcome you, sir.
I was very pleasantly surprised that it is coming from Home Science Department.
Sir, actually, sir, I want to intervene once. In home science, there are 5 departments. I am an occupational health expert. I work on ergonomics and occupational health. So it is one of the branch in home science. Though home science is broadly christened as home science, it is not exactly home science.
Yeah, but that also speaks that people think home science means really, just खाना
Right,
बनाओ,
sir. Right, right,
वो बर्तन
right.
साफ करने वाला department.
Right,
That's
right.
but actually home science is very, just everybody talks about they go to home base. Home is very important place.
No
Actually,
doubt, no doubt.
it has been given a bad name. It should not be. Actually, it should be proudly. I'm just very proud that you really have done this out of home science program, college or whatever you call that. So that's fantastic. Alok knows this, economics. The word eco comes from oikos, which also means home. So, and then we have home ministry. So I think this name has been given especially for girls when they were studying, I remember, in high school or something, they will
Right.
study home science. Chalo, roti banane ka vidya hai. Aisi baat nahi hai. That's really not true. I make roti very well. So the one thing I did very well from my high school days is to learn how to make roti. My roti is more round than many other ladies can do that. So it is an art and it is a science. Really, it is. I mean, everything is home. So I'm so proud to see that this has happened. Now, speaking of the waste, in addition to all the things that you're telling that, no matter what you do, something you're going to create problem.
Right.
If you incinerate, there is a problem. If you bury, it's a problem. If you don't take care of it, it's a problem. The problem that we know, the problem that we don't know, let me tell you that in India, when you get a water from the well, I come from a village, the water from the well, now we don't have the open well, but we get the groundwater is the best.
Right.
In America, where I live, I have to treat the water from the well. It is not good at all. So, the concept that we have in some places, it's like, okay, let's bury it, or let's, that we get rid of it, be out of sight, out of mind. That's not going to solve the problem, because the amount of thing that it does to the ecosystem, we have no idea what it might do in 50 years. We already are suffering. I worked with a project here, local project actually, because I'm at the coast. There is the ocean and there is a river. And there was a time in like 50s and 60s, there would be something that, for electric dynamos, they will have PCB as a fluid. For PCB is polychlorinated phenyl, biphenyl. So it's a chemical, but they thought it's so stable, nothing will happen. So they used to dump in the river. And that became a super fund site because it created so much problem for the local in environmental and the water animals. And one of them used to be quahogs. They call it locally they call it quahog, which is like a अपने यहाँ जो CP टाइप का होता ना, वो उसी टाइप का है. So but now it is a Superfund site. They had to clean it up and all that. So sometimes what you might consider today that, we are already getting rid of this, or we are doing this, or we are doing that. Actually, that may be a big problem later. So I'm so glad that there is some work being done. I hope that, I mean, this, my, this reincarnation after retirement is I am more connected to the public, the people, the behavior, their traditions. So some of us are very educated. We think we know better. That may not be exactly true. And actually, we may have to go back to home and try to understand what our grandmothers used to tell us, how to behave. And actually, a lot of things are being done. So I think maybe it is time to think about the home. How that traditionally people used to do. And one of the traditionally things to do is just not use too much medical products. You use herbal products, you use natural products. There is so much better. So we should, if you don't have your department, I don't know, and the next time I come, maybe I'll visit. And then if you do not have this, we should have your home science department have the medical technology, the natural medical technology discussion about, because if you can solve the problem of people without having
we have.
Yeah, so that will be fantastic. I'm so happy that you have all this thing, and this kind of work is going on, and I think KSAS will be happy too, because we are also doing some work, at least in advanced stages, but then we really want to create alternatives. So thank you very much. It was wonderful.
Thank you, sir. And if anyone has any query or comment, I think not, क्योंकि आपने ये कोई प्रश्न उत्तर वाला ऐसा कोई टॉक नहीं था. यह इंफॉर्मेटिव ज्यादा था, और किस प्रकार से हम अपने आप को बचावें. जो लोग लैब में काम करते हैं वो लोग समझें किस प्रकार से सावधानी बरतें. हम लोग लैब में ही रहते हैं, तो हम सभी लोग, जैसे सर ने कहा कि होम साइंस और ओइकॉस, तो इस प्रकार से सब सारे जो डिसिप्लिन्स हैं वो एक धारा से आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. और इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एडवांस साइंसेस, KSAS इत्यादि के माध्यम से इसका ये प्रयास है कि यहाँ पे ह्यूमैनिटीज और साइंस, इन दोनों के लोग, दोनों के रिसर्चर्स, दोनों के छात्र एक साथ बैठकर कुछ समस्याओं का समाधान ढूंढें. जैसे सर ने अभी कहा कि गांव की तरफ देखना पड़ेगा. बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं जहां हमको ये गर्व होता है कि हम ज्यादा इवॉल्व हैं, हम ज्यादा बुद्धिमान हो गए हैं. लेकिन जब हम अपनी 2 पीढ़ी पीछे जाते हैं तो हम देखते हैं कि हम जिन सुविधाओं को लेकर या जिन खोजों को लेकर अपने आप में थोड़ा सा अभिमानी महसूस कर रहे हैं, उसको हमारे 2-3 पीढ़ी पहले उसको और परिष्कृत रूप में आम जनजीवन में अपनाया जाता रहा. ये सारी चीजें सोचने समझने की बात है. भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा,
मिलेट्स हम लोग जो अभी बहुत पॉपुलर हो रहे हैं, वी आर सेलिब्रेटिंग ईयर ऑफ मिलेट्स एंड ऑल, मिलेट प्रोडक्ट्स एंड ऑल. तो ये मिलेट्स बहुत पुराने जमाने में दादी नानी लोगों ने तो इतना, इन लोगों का स्टेपल फूड हुआ करता था उस टाइम. बट नाउ वी आर पॉपुलराइजिंग इट. नो डाउट व्हाट प्रोफेसर बलराम सिंह हैज टोल्ड इज करेक्ट. एंड ये टॉक ये नहीं है कि मैं आई एम एन एक्सपर्ट इन इट, बट जब हम लोगों को, जब कोई और स्टडी कर रहे थे, कुछ मिला था, तो हम लोग को लगा कि इसके अवेयरनेस हम लोगों के सब में होनी चाहिए, और हम लोगों को बाकी लोगों में क्रिएट करना चाहिए ताकि लोग उसके बारे में पढ़े. एक छोटा सा थॉट प्रोवोकिंग टाइप की है कि एटलीस्ट हम लोग पढ़ते हैं इसके बारे में जब हम लोग कोई चीज डिस्कस करते हैं. सो दैट इज वन ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ दिस.
I do have a question. So
right,
you said that different states have different amount of and proportions of things, and I think in view of what Alok is saying, did you do analysis of city versus rural areas?
Yeah, city versus rural areas, no sir.
So that may be a good idea to have.
Right,
sir. We can have that information, because unless you point out what is the problem, people don't realize that. Only the Uttar Pradesh and what of Uttarakhand and this and that, but The moment you start dissect it, then
Right.
people will start seeing, oh, because of why really, what is the problem? And there is a, I mean, I don't know whether you have political science component in your, but there is the politics of everything. And there is also the money issue. So most people are, if you really go to Indian culture, where I think Alok was trying to say that there you consider others to be, parahit is paramarat ke karane sadhun dhara sarir. So if we can find out that we bifurcate that what city says, advancing this, and we are the most, we write books, we write journals, we write all kind of stuff. But if you start, I'm starting a project, and maybe you can give us some idea, and maybe your home science can get involved. I want history of every family. I want history of every family as they tell, not as scholars tell. As they tell, so that we have the survey of what their values are. I don't give a damn to what politicians say. That because they try to find some project, as long as they can give some free money or create some caste, create some religion, they get the vote, and they don't have to do anything right. But I think we as a public, we have to do it right. We as scholars, we really need to facilitate that. So maybe you think about this. I'm creating this project for the whole entire world. We want every family's history by them, not by anybody else. And then because today that we have advantage, we can have, web pages, we can have online, everything electronic, whatever that is. And then we take it from there. Your home science department studies how much waste, who's creating, and then they are the people who should be held responsible. Like that, so at least the beginning with the city and the rural areas, then we can even create the stratification of based on income. Then let the income people, more income people obviously create more waste. So if they, then let them feel at least guilty that they are the one who are responsible for this whole thing, not the general people. I may be poor, but I'm not creating problem at least. So
Right.
you may be rich, but you are the one who is creating the problem. So at least they should start having this guilt feeling.
We can do it, sir.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. Thank you all for joining us today at KSAS Talk. And next month, we will again come with new topic, with new scholar, and the announcement will be sent to you through email and WhatsApp. So thank you very much. Thank you all. Namaskar.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Namaskar.
Thank you.